Gotta find me an angel.
Songwriting is a strange thing because sometimes you can be in a bad place, and that's when you write your best music, because you can dig deep into your feelings and what's going on in your life. And I've actually found that the hardest albums I've written is when I'm in a really good place. When I'm in a good place, it's quite hard because, yeah, I know sometimes you can write love songs if you're in love, but the best songs really come from when things aren't going your way. Because that's when the anger comes out, and I think that digs deeper into your psyche of what you want to say. So I haven't written an album in a while because I've been quite happy. So I'm going to have to try and write an album and find some darkness, because I think I've written all the dark inside me at this stage.
Everybody's looking for that something.
Performing live is the goal, you know. The reason why we make music in the first place is so you can eventually go out and do it live, you know. It's great to hear your song on the radio. It's great to see people buying your records, but nothing beats when you're performing in front of a live audience and you can see them, the reaction in their face if they like the music. That's the ultimate as a performer. When I do my solo stuff, where I do my old Westlife music and my old solo music, or I do Boys Life with Keith Duffy, it's a different kind of an audience. And when you do this, you're crammed into a corner on a little stage with 10 musicians all beating each other to try and get a bit of elbow space. They're two different things. I love both of them equally. This one has a different feeling. Obviously, a lot more soul in your heart when you're singing this, and you feel a little bit more alive, but it's also special to sing the pop music too, you know, especially when everyone's singing back with you.
I'm flying without wings. There's the joy you bring. When I'm flying without wings.
My new album is Otis, and it is a collection of my favourite Otis Reading songs. I wanted to make a soul record with a full soul band, a live soul band, since I was a kid, really. But obviously, I've had a pop career, and you know, soul was never really something that I thought I'd be able to do. And until this year, I decided this was the year I was going to make it.
Sitting there thinking about the times I've known, different girls I've ever known, love all girls that I've met. You are the one girl that I can't forget.
The original idea for this album was actually to do a collection of different soul records, and I started by going through Otis Reading stuff. There was other people I wanted to do, like Wilson Pickett, but I just decided, why not just keep it all Otis? Keep the one style for the whole album. I think once you've recorded a record in this style with a live band, it's very hard to go backwards, you know. You hear the purity of everybody playing together, even the little imperfections that make it, you know, make it part of the record. You know, I think my next record, it's going to be very hard for me to go backwards and start to separate everything again. It's probably the way I'm going to have to record from now on. And I think it's nice, because I think that's where music came from. Music always began with everybody just playing live together. And it wasn't until we you know, discovered recording tools that could separate everything that we started recording differently. So it's nice to go back to how music was meant to be recorded. I don't really get nerves. A couple of things that I do is, which I do different than I would do at my other gigs. Like I always have to have a little shot of whiskey before I go on doing these songs, and I don't know why. Maybe it helps me get into the mood of that soul mood and that Otis mood. And I think soul music lends itself to whiskey, whereas maybe if I was playing my pop music, I'd drink vodka. So that's one little weird thing that I do differently on this show. I think drinking whiskey gets me into character. It makes me a bit more raspy and a bit more soulful.